Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whichever applies to you. Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Julia. I'm a contemporary singing specialist based in Australia, and today I am finally returning to Devin Townsend. This has been a long time coming, but here we are. Finally, I'm going to be breaking down Devin Townsend Project, Deadhead, live at Royal Albert Hall. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay. Whoa. I watched the Charismatic Voice Tea Time interview with Devin Townsend, so I know that Devin has a complicated relationship with his sound and with his voice, and every singer is going to have a different relationship with their sound and their voice, but honestly, his instrument is incredible. The tone of it. It's the lamest, most non-analytical way of describing it, but the tone of his voice is so free and so powerful. It's like he's in a belting setup 80% of the time, but with none of the effort. It's honestly amazing, and there's an expressiveness, not just to his dynamics and his storytelling in other ways, but an expressiveness through his facial expressions and the tone that he chooses to use, whether that is something that is completely clean or something that is distorted. So I am really, really enjoying how he's varying his vocal tone. If you're not familiar with how distortion is made, it occurs above the vocal folds so that you can still have true fold sound in there. There are times where it doesn't sound to me like he still has some true fold pitch in there, so it could just be something perhaps closer to a fry, I'm not sure. But the way in which he varies his clean sounds to his distorted sound is, quite frankly, masterful. I adore it. And there's no sacrifice in his tone when he winds up going for a clean sound. It still has that intensity there. So you don't really lose anything when he goes from one sound to the next. Like, he's able to maintain that level of engagement throughout his phrase, regardless of what tone he chooses. That is amazing, because he's effectively using two different tones there. He's got something that is incredibly distorted and more like a cougar scream, which is cool and amazing. And then he's got another tone where he's got true fold pitch and distortion on top of that. And then he's got a purely clean sound, which is, the tone of it is just stunning. I feel like it's bright and expressive and there's a roundness to it. There was a vowel in there where he got some vibrato in there. I just find him to be so expressive as a vocalist. I wouldn't necessarily say that he's demonstrated singing really, really low, but what he has shown is just so incredibly tasteful and my ears love it. So that's not necessarily an analytical standpoint. I personally love his vocal tone. And so I'm listening to this singer and I'm just remembering his comments about his relationship with his voice in that interview in the back of my mind. And he's just got this incredible instrument. And yeah, that's amazing. The intensity that he can get into his sound through the power in his vowel alone. It's not like he's squeezing or he's pushing or he's even gunning for lots of volume. There's just something so incredibly rich and well supported and connected underneath his vowel work. So even when he's just staying in his first register and in not necessarily exploring too much like pitch range with his clean singing, he goes through some amazing upper partials or upper harmonics when he's doing his like cougar scream style distortion. That gets some really cool like high pingy sounds going on. But the tone itself, this is something that definitely appeals to me as a listener. And I can see that we already started off with that wall of sound. In the beginning, I was like, where's my one? Why do I feel so unsteady? So I think I would have to go back and re-listen to what he was doing on the guitar in the beginning, but I really liked that musical choice as well. I would just have to go back because it's like they're altering where the emphasis is. But anyway, I would have to go back and re-listen. This is my first time listening to this. So yeah, highly expressive performer. And his tone, there's something so sweet and powerful about it without him necessarily having to go to crazy dynamics. And of course, we've got the wall of sound still. So we're going to keep going. I am looking forward to seeing how this grows. changed. And it took me by surprise, that's all. Because we went from something that was so heavy and full, like layers wise, we were really in this almost like slightly darker legato feel throughout the layers of the music. And now all of a sudden we're getting those higher sounds coming through on the kit. And then the tone of the music itself almost feels like it's picking up on the 1 and the 3. I just feel like that it's just changed. I said I was looking forward to the evolution of it. I don't know, maybe it's also because he's smiling. I feel like we're in a different feeling. The pitch, the frequencies he was getting through in that distorted section. Oh my goodness. It was like a battle between the pitch sound and the distortion, but the harmonics coming off the distortion were just so complementary. I felt like I could feel the pitch ringing out. I want to go back and re-listen to that. That was nuts. And yeah, that beautiful tone of his got just so much power in those vowels. Damn. He uses vowels like how almost a classical singer uses vowels. There's just so much power. He's not relying on his consonants to be the primary driver of his phrase. He is more than comfortable sitting in that vowel and just letting it be the powerful part of the word, which I mean, it really is. Vowels are the more powerful part of the word. And I think I've mentioned this before, but sometimes we can neglect how powerful our vowels can get in contemporary. But if you want to be a powerful belter, if you want to be able to have more longevity through your phrasing and have more dynamics at your beck and call, working on your vowels is gonna help a lot. And by a lot, I mean it's gonna separate you from the ones that can't do that. So let's, not saying you have to have the same tone as him, but let's find that section. I felt like I was hearing so much in that sound. I need to find it again. Like he opens to that vowel there instead of lifting to the vowel. Like so many people when they do these kinds of intervals, and it's not a huge interval, so it's not like it's something that's going to cause immense strain if you do lift for it, but technically, vocal technique-wise, he's not letting that larynx lift too high in order to step up that interval. He's opened it. By opened it, I mean the larynx has stayed fairly neutral. It's not going da-da. It's not like lifting up for it. It's opened it. If anything, he's opened his mouth a little more, but he's opened for that interval as opposed to lifting for the interval, which laryngeal tension will stop you from being able to do many, many things. So I don't hear any laryngeal tension in what he's doing, despite the amount of distortion and compression that he does in fact use. So for example, there we've got this staticky distortion coming through the sound. Yeah, so up on a D5. Damn, Devin. Oh my God. I just love his sound. I think it's amazing. Oh my God, I knew he got flippin' high, but that's a F frickin' 5. Are you, oh my God. I knew it got high, but Jesus. So all of those harmonics in his sound, I don't know whether he's actually pitched himself at that F5 or whether his overtones are just supporting so well to give you that clear F5 in my ears, because there's a lot of static in that sound. It's not actually called static with that distortion that he's using. I just call it static because that's how it registers for my ears, the kind of distortion that he's using there. That's insane. It's very thin. It's a very thin tone. So maybe he has actually gone up there and he's relying on his overtones for that intensity. That is most likely the case. He is most likely in a mix, meaning the vocal folds have lengthened. He's got a little bit of mass there, but the strength will come from his overtones as opposed to from like lots of mass. I don't know why I was thinking of anything else, because yeah, the thinness of the tone and the fact that there is that static there, I would wager thin fold coordination with incredible overtone. Oh my God. I'm not going to get over this. That's jeez. Oh God, it really just overtones for days, my dude. Oh my God. I know I'm kind of getting obsessed with this particular sound, but that's pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing. And again, he's not lifting for these notes, even though you can see the sternocleidomastoid pops on the side of his neck. So he has physical representations of tension that are extrinsic, but I don't hear tension internally from how his sound is being produced. That is wild. Like normally the external tension can influence the internal tension, but he's not sounding like that is what is happening for him. Yes, there's compression because you use compression to achieve certain sounds. In fact, certain overtones you achieve through compression. Compression meaning the muscles inside the vocal tract can tighten and relax depending on what you're doing in there. I'm going to go with very, very light mix coming up from first register with a lot of overtones, giving us that clarity of pitch in amongst all that staticky distortion. That's what I'm suggesting for that. That is incredible. I don't recall hearing anybody else replicate this kind of sound that's quite like that specifically. But yeah, you balance out this kind of amazing like oral experience, being able to hear someone produce sounds like this, and then you have the richness, the fullness, the warmth and expression, and just I love the color of his tone. His timbre is beautiful. Like it's gorgeous. I really enjoy listening to him as a clean singer, and then the distortion stuff is just like it takes the intensity of this music to the next level. And I mentioned last time how amazing the arrangement for the music is as well. So I'll just do one last comment on that. I am going to kind of restate what I said in my first Devin Townsend reaction. The way in which that they have layering, but it never feels like it's overwhelming and you still feel like you're getting storyline through the music as well. That's also really, really cool. I genuinely really enjoyed this song, and hearing Devin's voice again, like what a powerhouse. What an absolute powerhouse with some truly delicious singing technique in there. Like that's gorgeous. I really, really enjoyed this. Even though there was only like a little bit of singing, like bookmarking either end of the song, I thought this was great. I really, really enjoyed this. So I am going to leave that one there today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. If you did enjoy this video, please be sure to give it a like, click the subscribe button and the bell notification beside it for more just like this one. As usual, I hope you're staying safe. I hope you are staying healthy, and I will see you next time. Bye. Royal Albert Hall. What the fuck? You just want to like drown in it, just stay in it. Percussive sounds coming through on the keat. On the keat?